Hello folks and welcome to another episode of Technicational. Now today we'll be looking at the Samsung Galaxy J7 Neo, and this bears no relations to Neo from Matrix. That might sound ridiculous, but you wouldn't want to see some of the emails and messages I get. Woo. Anyhow, the J7 Neo is like the poor man version for the J7. So more than likely, if you cannot afford the J7, you can afford the J7 Neo. There are certain differences, but all in all, they are really cousins, brothers, sisters, poor man version of the more expensive J7. So we're going to find out how good it is and if this is definitely a phone you want to purchase or you're going to pass on. So let's get right into the review. So the first thing we're going to look at is design, but I need to get something out the way. So the J7 is a mid-range phone and the J7 Neo is a cheaper version of the mid-range phone. So that make the J7 Neo a mid-range low-end phone.
Yo, you smoke
All right, I think I confused myself. Let me just go right into this. So you have a 5.5 inch screen on the front, which is 720p. The back and recent app buttons are here, but they're not backlit. You don't have a fingerprint scanner for the home button. Sucks. And you have the power button on the right, and on the left you have the volume up and down. Now, when you go to the bottom of the device, you have a mic on the left, you have a USB charging port in the middle, and you have a headphone jack. Thank God, headphone jack. At the top of the device, there's nothing. And when you turn the phone to the back, you have a flash, a 30 megapixel camera, and the speaker, the loudspeaker is right beside the camera, which is weird. At the front of the phone, you have a flash for night selfies, and you have a 5 megapixel camera on the front. Now, all in all, the phone looks average. There's no big design, and it feels quite heavy in the hand, which is a good thing because people associate weight with quality, so they might think this is quality. Now, when you smack open the back of the device, trust me, it's a relief to see that it supports a SD card and you have a removable battery. The back cover is plastic, pretty flexible plastic, which is not bad, so that if you're taking it off, it don't break in half. So here are some additional specs for the persons who like to know exactly what they're getting into, and for all the tech persons who cuss out my backside for not putting in specs in my video. So we're at the part where we talk about display, and the J7 Neo has a 5.5 inch 720p display. That gives you a lot of real estate to play games and watch movies. Now, I was actually playing a lot of games on this phone because it just feels nice. And I realized a couple of things. One, 720p on a phone this size looks okay. It doesn't look shabby. It doesn't make the pictures look soft. It just looks good. So you don't get that punchy, oversaturated color scheme you would find on a Galaxy phone, but the colors are accurate and good enough. It doesn't look washed out, and it looks pretty good when you're watching movies and playing games. So since we're talking about games, that just gonna lead us right into performance, and I am going to tell you this. Yes, the J7 Neo is supposed to be the poor man version for the J7, but it doesn't perform like a poor man version of anything. It actually performs good. I don't know if it's because it's a 720p display, so the GPU doesn't have to be pushing out a whole lot of pixels, but I don't know what it is. But the phone performs like a champ. You play any game you want on it, you play any video you want on it, and everything moves smooth. You have things in the background, your phone don't slow down. It is just good for a poor man J7. And I was actually pushing it, trust me. I was playing Shadow Fighter 2 or Shadow Kickboxer, Shadow Badman. I don't remember the game. I'm gonna put it in the description. But anyway, this game graphically looks amazing and the phone handled it without no problem. Just a slight overheating on the back. The phone actually, I shouldn't say overheating, it heat up. But all in all, the game didn't slow down and I kicked some butt. You know, sometimes I wish, the camera part of the phones, I don't have to do it. And it's not because I don't like doing it, it's just because when I have these phones, I can't seem to get any good pictures that seem interesting. Them just look boring. I want some pictures, some cars, some fast cars, some sexy woman. And no, Dave, no. Take off Curvy Diva off of my
Yo, I said curvy to the world.
Anyhow, so camera quality. So you have a 13 megapixel camera at the back and you have a 5 megapixel camera at the front. Both have flash and they take decent pictures. Not great, but it's by far better than what I find on some low-end phones. So the pictures are okay, nothing to write home about. You get features like you can add effects, but it's pretty bare bone and simple. So we're at the section where most people seem to be more interested these days, and that's battery life. Yes, this is a sore point for most people when they buy a phone. You have a phone and it can't last you a day. You have to walk up and down with a charger. Who the hell want to walk up and down with load? Anyhow, the J7 Neo is one of the few phones that actually last me more than a day. So it actually took me a day and a half before I have to find the charger and charge the phone. Now this is when I'm actually playing games. I was playing a whole heap of games on this phone and it lasts me a day and a half. Now this usage might be different for most people because I am not a person who is heavy into social media and Twitter, Facebook and Instagram with all of those news feeds coming in. I said news feeds, shut up Dave, and the notifications, so your phone always going back and forth. So the battery life might differ when it comes to those stuff. But if you're a simple person like me that answer some emails or send out few tweets and you play a game, answer some calls, you're good. You don't have to walk with your charger. It is safe to leave it at home. Just make sure you find the charger when you reach home. So we're at the section where I give you my final thoughts. But first thing first, please, Dave, can you please take Neo off of the screen? That's the wrong thing. That's not what we're talking about.
This confusing and I'll be here Neo this, Neo that. All of them know say I can be a talk about.
Anyhow, the J7 Neo. Now, two things that I didn't like about the J7 Neo. I don't know if it is going to be a problem to anybody else, but the fact that the recent app button and the back buttons are not backlit, it can pose a bit of problem to persons who are not used to Android, and the button placement is kind of different on Samsung phones from other Android phones. So if you don't really have it lit up for those folks, you might end up having a little problem to get used to. The second thing I didn't really enjoy is the fact that this phone doesn't have quick charge built in, and that simply means that it takes a while to charge from 0 to 100%. It's not something that a person who is not used to quick charge will have a problem with, but for those who are moving from a phone that has it, it is worth noting. It takes a while to fully charge. Anyhow, apart from that, everything else is okay for a mid to low end phone. You have your 2GB RAM and a 720p screen, doesn't use all that power, so you get good battery life, and the pictures still look good and it looks very vibrant. Not oversaturated, but vibrant enough that you will enjoy games and videos. Anyhow, if this phone interests you and you want to look at it or even look at it in person, you can always head over to the Samsung Experience store and just talk to anybody in there. They will show you this phone and they will demonstrate it for you. Anyhow, thank you guys for watching and thank you guys for your support, and continue to tell your friends to subscribe. Okay? Peace.
Snakes in the grass, you gotta watch where you step. Blood on the leaves, you either kill or be killed. When there's food on the table, you either eat or you starve. And when there's sharks in the water, you either sink or you swim. It's a jungle out there. It's a jungle out there. It's a jungle out there.